Hey folks, happy Friday and happy 4th of July. One of the most heartbreaking stories, certainly from a father's perspective, is the story of David's one-day battle with his son Absalom. Absalom has driven David out of Jerusalem, and David is forced to flee across the Jordan River and up into the northeastern region of Israel to a city called Mahanaim. And it's there that he will gather troops and supplies and prepare for the inevitable confrontation, as Absalom is doing as well in Jerusalem. Now, even the place that David has selected as his base camp demonstrates his military and strategic experience, because where the battle will be fought will be in a densely wooded area that plays favorably for David's troops, because even though they're fewer in number, they have extraordinary experience and are experts in guerrilla warfare. Now, it also demonstrates Absalom's lack of experience and his arrogance. So the battle is fought with predictable results. It's fought fiercely. 20,000 men die, but David's men prevail. Now, before David had sent his troops out, he'd instructed his generals, Joab, Ittai, and Abishai, to deal gently with Absalom. But as the war is being fought, Absalom is caught in the branches of a low-hanging tree. His glorious hair is caught, and he's left dangling as his horse rides off, his mule rides off. And so Joab's men discover him, and a guy goes, tells Joab, and Joab says, well, why didn't you kill him? I would have given you 10 pieces of silver and a warrior's belt. And the man says, well, I don't really care if you gave me 1,000 pieces of silver, because if David finds out, you'll pretend you don't know me. So Joab says, well, I've had enough of this, and he goes and he kills Absalom. Now, David hears about it and begins to grieve the heart of a father who's just lost his son. He weeps, Absalom, oh Absalom, my son, my son. It had been better if I had died. And you could just see his father's heart breaking. Now, David is placed in an impossible situation because there's no good outcome for this, and he certainly feels like every decision he makes is the wrong one. If he wins the war, as he did, the inevitable result would be that at some point Absalom would be killed. But if he loses the war, the kingdom would be lost, and David's life would also be taken. So there's just no win. And folks, we can feel like we're in that spot, don't we? Where it just seems like every decision that we make is wrong, every word that we say is wrong. And we can experience this in our families, we can experience in our business, in our communities. We certainly experience this in our nation, don't we? Where it just feels like every choice that we have to make is the lesser or greater of two evils. And certainly with the tragedy of COVID-19, we're kind of stuck, because if we quarantine, as I believe we should, with the hope and the intention of flattening out the effect of this virus, we run the risk of collapsing our economy. So it can just feel like there's no good outcome. But if you're feeling some of that, as I am comforted, encouraged by Paul's words to the Ephesians, where he says, therefore put on the whole armor of God, so that when that day of evil comes, you can stand your ground. And having done everything, to stand. Folks, when that day of crisis comes, as it is right now, we clothe ourselves in the power and the presence of God, and we stand our ground. We stand for that which is true and just and right, knowing that God will protect and preserve his people. He will protect and preserve you. So I hope that encourages you, as it has me. And as always, get out there and make our world and make our nation a better place, because you're in it. Thanks for watching, and happy 4th of July. I'll talk to you again soon.